Málaga, macho. Mira, hasta las rodillas.
February 8th, 2026. Andalusia, Spain. Deadly and relentless flooding from Hurricane Marta has devastated Spain and Portugal, forcing thousands to flee their homes and causing millions of euros in damage to the agricultural sector. On Saturday morning, heavy rain and strong winds from Hurricane Marta lashed large parts of southern Andalusia, Spain, and several major provinces, including Cádiz, Seville, Córdoba, Málaga, and Huelva. At the same time, central Portugal was also directly affected by the storm system. After reaching the Iberian Peninsula, Hurricane Marta swept across large parts of Spain and Portugal, leaving at least one person dead in Spain alone. More than 10,000 residents of towns and villages along the Guadalquivir River were forced to flee their homes, while around 180 roads were closed and rail services were severely disrupted. Thousands of hectares of farmland, including broccoli, carrot, and cauliflower fields, were submerged in the floods, causing millions of euros in damage to the agricultural sector. The Andalusia region in southern Spain has been hit hardest by the heavy rains and flooding caused by Hurricane Marta. Local authorities have said that more than 25% of the region's farmland has been submerged, and that extensive damage has been done to agricultural infrastructure. In the provinces of Seville, Córdoba, Málaga, Huelva, and Almería, serious damage has been caused to agricultural crops due to the flooding of rivers and the rising water levels. According to initial reports and estimates from the Spanish and Portuguese governments, the total damage so far is estimated at around 800 million euros, a figure that is likely to increase significantly given the ongoing consequences of the floods. This damage includes the loss of agricultural crops, damage to agricultural infrastructure, and economic consequences in the food production and distribution chain. The heavy and intense rainfall following Hurricane Marta caused complete soil saturation, so that the land lost its ability to absorb water and surface runoff formed rapidly. This situation caused widespread flooding of agricultural fields in various areas. At the same time, the flooding of rivers, including the Guadalquivir River, directed water directly onto surrounding agricultural lands, significantly increasing the extent of the damage. But the consequences of this disaster are not limited to the destruction of crops. The floods have disrupted the local and export food supply chain, threatened thousands of jobs in the agricultural sector, increased the urgent need for government support, emergency aid, and insurance coverage, and ultimately have led to an increase in the prices of agricultural products in domestic and foreign markets. In addition to extensive financial and agricultural damage, Hurricane Marta also caused significant human losses and humanitarian crises. Several deaths were reported in Spain and Portugal, including a snowplow driver in northern Spain who died when his vehicle crashed on a mountain road, and a citizen in Portugal who drowned when a river overflowed its banks. At the same time, more than 10,000 people were forced to flee their homes in the Andalusia region of Spain alone, and emergency evacuations were carried out in the provinces of Cádiz, Málaga, Córdoba, Granada, and Huelva. Transport infrastructure was severely damaged. More than 180 roads were closed in different parts of Spain, with dozens of routes completely inaccessible, and some towns and villages practically surrounded by floods. In the rail sector, the Spanish Railways was forced to suspend extensive train lines, including high-speed, regional and suburban trains. Rail connections to major cities such as Seville, Málaga, Córdoba and Madrid were severely disrupted and temporarily closed. In Portugal, rail and road lines were also temporarily closed in several areas. In addition to paralyzing the transport network, this situation disrupted relief, food supplies, access to medical services, and the movement of relief forces, transforming the Marta crisis from a mere natural disaster into a multidimensional humanitarian economic, and infrastructure crisis. Hurricane Marta was caused by a powerful low-pressure system that moved from the Atlantic Ocean towards the Iberian Peninsula, and when it hit the warm, humid air of the region, it produced continuous rainfall and strong winds. The saturation of the soil from previous rainfall reduced its water absorption capacity, and surface runoff quickly formed, which combined to cause widespread flooding and overflowing river. Mira. According to meteorologists, the geological conditions of the low-lying areas and river basins also cause the rainfall to quickly turn into surface flows and then floods, increasing damage to agriculture and infrastructure. In other words, Hurricane Marta was not just a natural event. This disaster was the result of the confluence of extreme weather factors, the condition of the soil and land, and the vulnerability of infrastructure, which simultaneously caused human, economic, and environmental losses. Spanish and Portuguese authorities responded immediately after the floods and Storm Marta began, mobilizing relief and military units to deal with the crisis. In Andalusia, the military emergency force and local teams were deployed to evacuate residents from areas at risk, particularly in the provinces of Cádiz, Málaga, Córdoba, and Granada. The government set up an advanced emergency command center to facilitate coordination between rescue forces, police, firefighters, and health services. Communication lines and real-time monitoring of the state of rivers, flooded areas, and victims were monitored.